I'd like to thank my whole family for helping me get here. Except for Dan. Dan, you got what you deserved. Don't call me.
What are you doing?
Giving my acceptance speech, duh.
For what?
Well, I don't know yet, but probably an Oscar. I'll settle for an Emmy, though.
Oh, so like when you practice a Nobel Prize speech in the shower, except you're wasting our airtime.
No. It's not like practicing in the shower. This is my real Oscar acceptance speech.
That you'll give in like 20 years in a theoretical world?
You really don't get what's going on here, do you?
Okay, then please enlighten me.
I'm an energetic boy. I get excited when I'm in a room with lots of people, so sometimes I just lose control.
Like at Miranda's birthday party when you tried to wear the piñata as pants.
I didn't try, I succeeded, but yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so all of this is to stop you from wearing piñata pants on national television.
Yeah, I can't risk having a complete flop of an Oscar speech that will haunt me forever, so I'm pre-recording this to be played instead.
That's actually kind of smart.
Thank you, I'm so glad you get me.
But would you still go up and grab the Oscar?
Of course.
Well, what if you fall on the stairs, like Rami Malek or Jennifer Lawrence?
Oh, God. I didn't think about that. Who do I call about getting a chairlift installed on the Oscar stage?
I don't know the answer to that. But maybe instead of looking forward at the future award seasons, we should look back at the one that just happened.
I mean, I guess we are an entertainment news show.
Exactly, so we have to cover the biggest weeks in entertainment. This is The Dish, and we're talking award season 2019.
Our hot topics today are all about red carpet fashion.
The best part of every award show is commenting on the beauty of the celebrities we pretend are our best friends.
But amongst all this high fashion, there are always a few people who try too hard, so we get to make fun of them.
Originally, we were going to bring these celebrities into the studio to model their red carpet looks for us live, but then we remembered we are insignificant in the grand scheme of things.
So, here's our take on this past season's red carpet fashion. Casey Musgrave's pink dress has been compared to a loofah, but the real news with this story is that no one in her life loves her enough to stop her from leaving the house looking like that.
Based on this award season, men's fashion is changing and becoming far more creative and flashy, meaning next year it might be Bradley Cooper in the meat dress.
Andrea Echevry dressed up as a Grammy to the Grammy Awards because pretending to be a Grammy is the closest Andrea is going to get to having one.
According to Cosmopolitan, the diamond necklace Lady Gaga wore to the Oscars was last worn by Audrey Hepburn. In related news, Lady Gaga has been arrested for robbing the grave of Audrey Hepburn.
Crazy Rich Asians star Gemma Chan arrived at the Oscars in a hot pink gown reminiscent of my childhood comforter, likely so she could sleep on the Oscars as hard as they slept on her movie.
Katy Perry showed up to the Grammys mid-climbing out of a cake. Some speculate this might be an homage to the late SpongeBob creator, seeing as she looks like a pink Squidward when the Krabby Patties went straight to his thighs.
Just looking at that picture, I can tell what this dress sounds like when you touch it. Like,
you know, I love watching the Oscars and hearing all the drama, but I didn't see any of the movies. Did you?
Oh God, no. Movies here are like $13. I would have to sell a kidney to see one.
You know who did sell his kidney? Noah, and here he is to tell us all about the films that made their way to the Oscars this year.
Thanks, guys. I'm Noah Bender, and I am still recovering from that surgery, y'all. Well, let's take a look back at the 2019 Hostless Academy Awards. Hashtag Oscars so boring, if you ask me. Kevin Hart didn't get to host the show, but I bet he could have snuck in and gotten on stage if he went on disguise as one of the trophies. He's a tiny man. Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen biopic, took home 4 awards, the most of the night, including Best Leading Actor, which would have been great if Rami Malek hadn't fallen off the stage after accepting the award. The highest point in his career, and he can't even keep his body up. You're an actor, for crying out loud. At least act like you can walk properly. Netflix's Roma won 3 Academy Awards for Best Director, Best Cinematography, and Foreign Language Film, much to Steven Spielberg's chagrin. Old Stevie's pissed that Netflix even gets to compete in major award shows because they're, quote, TV movies. Oh, shove off, Grandpa. I know you're Steven Spielberg and all, but I believe they should give an Oscar movie a boost if I can see it on my couch in my underwear, accompanied by the trifecta, my cat, a double steak quesarito, and a pint of Americone Dream. That's the real Americone Dream. I love the America flavor, and I love my country. Moving on, the steamiest moment of the night came when Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper performed their Oscar-winning Best Original Song from the 37th remake of A Star is Born. Their onstage chemistry was so believable and hot, hot, hot tamales that it left many wondering if the two are romantically involved in real life. Turns out it was just acting, because it's just too hard keeping it so hardcore. Next time, Brad, why don't you leave the directing to the professionals and the to the real singers like me. And a little less bronzer next time while you're at it. Can I just say, I'd like to present an honorary Academy Award to James McAvoy's neck in M. Night Shyamalan's new thriller, Glass. McAvoy plays a totally crazy dude who's got 23 distinct personalities with the ever-dangerous beast persona on the hunt for blood. Roof! Hi, puppy. Now, I haven't seen the other 2 movies in the trilogy, but trust me, it didn't matter one bit, because James McAvoy stole the entire show for me with his thick, dynamic, and veiny neck. Damn! And those trap muscles. Whew! My God! Don't even get me started. But do, give me that guy's workout regimen or the special effects dude's phone number. Thank you, Nick. Well, to everyone's not surprise, Green Book took home the final award for Best Picture. May our grandparents rejoice. Yay. Finally, a movie older white people can feel good about. Racism, and stay with me here, is wrong. Who knew? It's like, gabagoon, pasta fazool, pasta prosciutto. I didn't actually see the movie, but I just assumed that it's Tony Soprano listing Italian deli meat for 2 hours with the guy from True Detective in his back seat. Oh, it's not? I'm dead wrong? It's about the true friendship between a black musical virtuoso and his prejudiced security guard and their journey through the Deep South and learning to find compassion in one another? I'd still rather watch Tony Soprano gab about mortadella. So, I'm gonna go and try and attempt to finish The Sopranos after my 5-long trudge through. Don't get me wrong, I love the show, but I've only got 13 hours left. And I gotta see how Tony's finally gonna reconcile his toxic relationship with his nephew. Bada bing! Now, let's swing it over to Jack Cunningham with his take on the Emmy Awards.
Thanks, Noah. With both the Oscars and the Grammys behind us, I think it's time to start looking forward and begin speculating about what's to come from the Emmys. Now, I already know what you're going to say. Jack, the Emmys are 5 months off. Isn't it a little premature to start speculating? And to that I say, the only thing that's premature here is my love-making ability. But worry not, for my predictions are back in copious amounts of binge-watching Netflix. And I can assure you that I know what I'm doing. First and foremost, who will host? You see, the Golden Globes had 2 hosts, the Grammys had 1 host, and the Oscars had no host. So following this trend, I suggest that we need a negative host, or a non-host, if you will. Someone who just walks up on stage and says nothing of substance. Therefore, I nominate Kim Kardashian as our next Emmy host. She may not even know why she's on stage, but she sure can fill 10 minutes of airtime with completely irrelevant dialogue, and that's what TV really needs right now. Now that we have the host out of the way, let's get into the show nominations. Right. I, for one, think that the epic fantasy series Game of Thrones will take in a few nominations. But as everyone knows, when it comes to Game of Thrones, someone must die. Knowing this, I predict that during his acceptance speech, Peter Dinklage will be impaled with an arrow live on stage and die before the audience. We will then spend weeks trying to figure out who killed the Dink, only to reveal that it was George R.R. Martin. You see, he could no longer shock us by killing off characters in the books or TV show. So, the only way to defy our expectations was by killing our favorite character in real life. He will then get an Emmy for Best Script, and everyone will agree that it was well deserved. Speaking of shows that are close to their end, The Big Bang Theory will likely sweep various awards yet again. But seeing as it's the show's last season, I suspect that Jim Parsons will admit it in his victory speech that he too has no idea why the show won so many Emmys. He'll then call this entire award season a sham and slam his trophy on the ground. Then he'll go on to critique Hollywood before his mic get cut, and then he'll get dragged off stage by security, screaming how art is dead. But you know what art isn't dead? The writing of the show The Marvelous Miss Maisel. Yes, this series is destined to get the nomination for just how delightful it is. Many credit this to the method acting technique of Rachel Brosnahan, but some on set believe that Brosnahan is perhaps too dedicated to the role, refusing to speak to anyone unless they address her as Midge or give her notes on her stand-up set. Her husband has even noted that she keeps calling him Daddy-O and saying he has a real classy chassis. But hey, so long as the show keeps me entertained, Brosnahan can keep living like it's 1955. But I think the real question on everyone's mind is whether or not the dish will be receiving any awards from the daytime Emmys. We may have to compete with shows like The Late Show, The Late Late Show, The Tonight Show, The Daily Show, Last Week Tonight, Full Frontal, and Conan. But hey, what do those shows have that we don't? Topical coverage of the world events? Hello, Hot Topics? A sexy yet quippy host who just loves to dance. That's literally Tyler. Clever writing that deals with absurd comedy. Well, if that ain't this segment, then don't even bother giving me the Emmy. Though you definitely should. But the point is, we are just as good as the rest of these schmucks. Heck, I say we're even better. In any case, these are my predictions for the 2019 Emmys, and I guarantee they will come true with 100% accuracy. Speaking of award shows with 2 M's in the name, here's Natalie to tell us about the Grammys.
This year's Grammys brought about some exciting moments as well as some lackluster performances. Women stole the show this Grammys with nominations and performances. One special moment was when host Alicia Keys brought out Lady Gaga, Jada Pinkett Smith, and the one and only Michelle Obama. It was like a family reunion the minute Miss Obama walked on that stage. "We miss you and your husband, come back!" Dolly Parton took to the stage for a tribute performance dedicated to all of her years in the music industry. The tribute got off to a lackluster start with Katy Perry and Casey Musgraves starting with the song "Here You Come Again." While Musgraves looked like an adorable country gal all dolled up in a Dolly-styled sequin jumpsuit, Perry attempted to steal the spotlight with her roaring vocals. Out of all the performers to tribute Dolly, she was the most out of place. But the tribute did not end in vain. Miley Cyrus saved the performance with her rocking performance of Jolene with her godmother Dolly. I know I'm not a huge fan of country, but whenever I hear Miley sing Jolene, I want to put on my cowboy hat and ride a tractor. An unlikely pairing of Post Malone and the Red Hot Chili Peppers took the stage. Malone began the performance with his songs Stay and Rockstar, then moved to the Chili Peppers' Dark Necessities. This performance was just boring to say the least. And of course, the lead singer of the Chili Peppers managed to take off his shirt halfway through. No shirt can restrict the hot pepper. It was kind of like the Maroon 5 halftime show. Adam, even though you take off your shirt, it doesn't make the performance any more riveting. Drake won the award for Best Rap Song for God's Plan. As he was giving his Grammy speech, the show cut to commercial. It's almost like the Grammy producers Kanye Drake. "I'ma let you finish. Actually, I'ma not let you finish." It seems as though it was just a misunderstanding with producers believing Drake had finished his speech, but I think we all know the real deal, especially when a lot of Drake's speech was how awards don't necessarily matter. Well, at least he has the trophy, and at least he wasn't interrupted by Kanye West. Sorry, Taylor. One of the most unusual moments of the night was the infamous Motown tribute, led by Miss Jennifer Lopez. Now, Jennifer Lopez is a talented performer, don't get me wrong. But maybe it would have been smart to have had the Academy put someone who better represents Motown as the head performer instead of Jenny from the block. I mean, Smokey Robinson was her backup. Smokey Robinson, the man who trailblazed the Motown industry as a side piece? I'd say I was surprised, but I'd be lying. President of the Recording Academy, Neil Portnow, gave a half-assed apology on his past comments about the limited female nominees from last year's Grammys. Portnow's comments addressed that female artists need to step up in order to be nominated. Shocker, but this didn't sit well with anyone in the music industry, especially the women. So Portnow tried to salvage his really successful reputation by attempting to apologize, but not taking any real responsibility. During his apology speech, the camera panned out to the crowd, focusing on Casey Musgraves and Lady Gaga with stoic, angered faces. It's almost like when a parent says, "I'm not mad, just disappointed." He is stepping down this year as president, and I wonder why. And the show finished with country singer Casey Musgraves taking the cake home for Album of the Year for Golden Hour. Her shocked face said it all, in which she had no idea she would win. Apparently, the audience had the same reaction. Twitter went ballistic with people asking, "Who is this poofy-haired princess singing about rainbows and horses?" Well, for one thing, it did make for a lot of memes that will probably continue into the near future. So rock on, Casey, rock on. Well, that's all for the 2019 Grammys. Maybe next year we'll see Cardi B leading a tribute performance for Mumford & Sons. Who knows? Anything can happen. But good music nowadays is all about mixing genres. I mean, now we see rap and country performing together, which I never thought would happen. Well, I never thought...
Then, girl,
What?
are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something that you're searching for? I'm falling. In the good times I find myself longing for change. And in the bad times I fear myself.
Tell me something, boy. You tired of filling that void? Or do you need more? Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change. And in the bad times I fear myself. I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground. Crash through the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now.
In the shallow.
In the shallow.
In the shallow. We're far from the shallow now.
I'm on the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground. Crash through the surface where they can hurt us. I'm far from the shallow now. Oh, in the shallow.
can't believe award season's over already. It feels like the year just started.
I can't believe we have to wait 6 months for good movies to be released again.
Okay, there has to be something good coming to theaters soon.
Nope, nothing.
Well, what about 5 Feet Apart?
I've already watched a movie about 2 sick kids falling in love. John Green was not kind to us.
Yeah, I can't stand to lose Augustus again.
At least there's some new stuff on TV.
Spring starting shows never last.
What about Now Apocalypse? That looks good.
No, I wrote a fanfic about Maddie McKibben and Beck doing acid in the desert once, so I feel like that show will just bring me back to a weird place.
Wow. It's kind of eerie how people can parallel think like that.
Sure, we'll call it parallel thinking for now.
Wait, you're not insinuating they took your story, are you?
All I can legally say is my lawyers are looking into it.
Maybe we should focus on something that isn't a bummer.
Like music.
Yeah, I like music.
So does the rest of the world.
Okay, but my relationship with music is different because I'm special.
Well, did you know that there were over 20 new albums dropped in the first week of March alone?
What?
Yeah, there's always something new to listen to.
Wait, I thought the most recent album to drop was Destiny's Child's Survivor.
What? That's from like 2001.
Well, yeah, but it was so good that the entire music industry decided to stop making new albums in its honor.
Who told you that?
My cousin Dan.
I think Dan was just messing with you.
Damn, Daniel. Back at it again with your lies and deception.
Well, it looks like you have a lot of catching up to do.
Wait. Beyonce has her own albums now? What?
Looks like I'm gonna have to teach Tyler all about the music world.
Right after I teach Dan a lesson for messing with me.
So we'll see you next time on The Dish.
Fuck Dan.